This video is going to focus in on part A of this TipTopBakerya assignment. It says to create a class named bread, okay, and we're going to have some variables in it, okay. For example, what type of bread and how many calories, and a constructor that will assign values, gets and sets for each field. We're also going to have another variable field called motto, and it's going to be static, so therefore it's going to stay the same for each object that we create of this class. And then we're going to initialize it to staff of life. We're going to have a display method for the bread. It's going to look like this line right here. We have a display method for the model. It's going to look like this line right here. And then we're going to write a demo class that's going to test this bread. I'm going to take and copy all this stuff here. You don't have to copy it. You can just follow along because you don't need to. I already created a sandwich project, okay, if you do something like that. And I'm going to right click on that now, and I'm going to add a new class, and it's bread with a capital B, like that. I'm going to create a great big block comment down here and stick all this stuff down here like that. There. Okay, first of all, we're going to create a couple variables here, okay? So I like to put a remark in there. It says class variables, like that. Let's create that motto one right off the bat, okay? This is going to be a public. Oh, we can make it a private. Let's make it a private. Okay, this is going to be a static, like that. And it's going to be a final. Private and static. And this is a string variable. And we're going to call it a motto, like that. That's equal to, I'm going to copy this out of here like this. Just like that. Beautiful, okay? And then let's create a couple more variables here, a couple more private ones. Once again, we're going to make these private because we don't want anybody to use them unless we give them specific permissions. And this is going to be called bread type, like that. Oh, we should make this a string, don't forget that. Just like that, semicolon. We don't have to initialize these. Okay, it's fine the way it is. And let's do the calories, private. Int calories. Just like that, semicolon. Beautiful, okay? Now let's build some constructors, okay? And the first one is always just a default one, and you always make it exactly the same as your class name, including capitalization. Opening, closing parentheses, opening, closing curly brace. Good enough, just like that. Next one, we're actually going to make a constructor that's going to put information into our private variables. Once again, spelled just like the one above. These parameters are going to be, first of all, a string for our bread type. And of course, once again, this allows us to use the same variable names, doesn't it? And also an int of calories, like that. What are we going to do with those? Opening, closing curly brace. Let's first of all assign this dot bread type is equal to bread type, like that. And this dot calories is equal to calories. That's it. Okay, beautiful. Constructors are finished, okay? And now we're going to have our modifiers. Okay, once again, modifiers are kind of a strange description, but a lot of books use that, okay? Modifiers can also be your print things and display things and things like that, okay? So let's create one that basically displays bread. And so therefore it's going to be a public because we want to be able to, people to be able to use it on the outside. And it's not going to be static because it's going to be different for each different object that we created this. So we just call it public and then the name of our method. And what we call this print bread, like that. Opening, closing parentheses, opening, closing curly braces, okay. This is going to print out this line right here, okay, based on some variables. So let's go ahead and, oh, it says return type. Yeah, I forgot to put that in there. Let's put in there void because it's not going to return anything. System dot out dot println, okay. And let's put quotation marks, put a semicolon at the end just to get rid of all our errors for now. And I'm going to take and copy this. You're going to, of course, going to have to, right there, type this in. What I do is I stick that in there, and then I'm going to replace that with variables, okay? For example, right here, I don't want to say rye bread, okay? I want to put in there this dot and a bread type right there, plus quotation mark. Of course, not rye bread now. Like that. Has how many calories? That, again, I'm going to put in there a plus this dot calories right there. A plus. Okay, and a quotation mark like that per slice. Like that. Beautiful. So it should print out just exactly what I have down there. Let's see, yep, I already created my motto up here, so I can actually use, let's see, it's going to say a bread motto is, and then we're going to put the staff of life in here, like that. Okay, let's do another public void. We're going to print out our motto now. Void, okay, print motto, like that. Once again, we don't have to send it anything, okay, because these are all local variables, all these private variables. And let's see, this time we're going to do a system.out.print. And like that. And this time we're going to paint this in here. The bread motto is the staff of life. Control C right there like that. But only I don't want to do this. I want to take and I want to say, okay, my motto might change, okay. So therefore I'm going to say motto. Like that. I might want to put quotation marks around this, okay, because I want to. And once again, to do a quotation mark, you have to do that backslash for the escape key. Don't you like that? Oops. So it's backslash and then escape key like that. And then another one plus quotation mark backslash quotation mark. And now I can have two quotation marks together like that. Beautiful. It's unhappy about something. Here's fix that. LN. There, sometimes my fingers don't keep up with my mouth, okay? And now what we're going to do is we're going to make these accessors, okay? Because we want to be able to get at our private variables sometimes. Now this is really kind of dumb because basically what we're doing is we're giving read-write access to both of our variables. But I think the assignment wants you to do this just so you get really good at this, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to make gets and sets for both the bread type and the calories. Let's start with the get, okay? Get is a public. And this is going to return a string because that's what bread type is. Get bread type. Okay, opening, closing parentheses. Okay, opening, closing curly brace. Put some space between it. Okay. We're going to say return this dot bread type. There it is right there, semicolon. Okay, and I'm tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this one time, paste in here again, because now we're going to get calories, aren't we? Save myself a little typing. Like that. It's not a string, it's an int. And of course we're going to return calories this time, aren't we? Like that. Beautiful. And now let's do a public. This can be a void, okay, because when you set something you don't return anything. Set, and then bread type. Okay, we're going to receive this time. We're going to receive bread type as a string, like that. Opening and closing curly brace. Oops, I put it in the wrong spot. Like that, and we're going to take and we're going to say this dot bread type is equal to bread type, like that, semicolon. And we're going to take and copy this again here, because this time we're going to take and we're going to copy, and we're going to say that we're going to set the calories, okay? Like that. And of course this isn't a string, it's an int, isn't it? And this time it's calories. Like that. We're going to say this dot calories. We can actually copy this, can we? Like that. Beautiful, okay. I forgot my N up here too for println. Like that. Okay. Let's see, I think we did everything here. We created all of our final variables, our constructors, our gets and sets. And now we've got to write a demo class to see how this works. It's going to be called test bread. So we're going to go up here to our sandwich project. We're going to say a new in a class test bread. Like that. And go ahead and add a main to it this time, because we are going to want a main in there. Just like that, okay? Now I'm going to switch back here again. I'm going to copy this stuff out of here. Make sure you don't get too much. You should be able to go all the way down to the bottom, just like that. Control X. And I'm going to paste it into my test bread now so I can see what the results are supposed to be. Like that, okay? And so what I want to do now is I want to create 3 instances, okay? The first bread is going to be rye bread. It's going to have 120 calories. Second one's going to be wheat bread and 95 calories. And the third one's going to be white bread with 100 calories. And so what I'm going to do up here, make sure that you're inside of your main, okay? I'm going to create 3 instances or 3 objects of my bread now. To do that, I start out with the name of the class, bread. And then I can call it something. Okay, once again, this is kind of like creating an integer, but it's really a bread type, isn't it? So you start with the variable type, which is bread, okay? And I think I'm going to call it bread1 is equal to a new bread. And now by sending stuff here, I'm going to use that second constructor, okay? And I'm going to send some information to it. The first thing is a string. And I'm going to copy rye bread out here like this. Stick that in there just like that. I'm going to send it rye bread, comma, and how many calories is that? I look down there, it's 120 calories, isn't it? Semicolon, just like that. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and copy that line. Because what I want to do now is I want to make another one for my wheat bread and another one for the white bread. Throws an error because it says, well, you can't have them all named the same thing. So I'm going to call this one 2, and I'm going to call this one 3. I'm going to take the word wheat bread, replace rye bread with that, like that. And then for the third one, I'm going to take white bread. Like that, and replace that with that. And then of course this one's 95 calories. And this one is 100 calories, like that. Okay, I created those. Now, I already created a really nice print method, didn't I? Okay, and so let's call that for bread 1 dot print bread right there. That's all I got to do. Beautiful, huh? And now I want to take and I want to print our motto in here. Okay, so I'm going to say bread print motto this time, like that. And I'm going to do the same thing with bread 2. I'm going to save myself some keystrokes once again. Okay, I'm going to stick that in there twice and change those to bread 2 and bread 3, like that. Beautiful. See if it works. How beautiful is that? Look at that. Rock and roll. Okay, that completes the first part.